Hello and welcome to another session of MCQs on basic macroeconomics. It is our ninth session of MCQs on basic macroeconomics, and this time our topic is circular flow of income, the three sector model. And we have already delivered a lecture on the three sector model, and these multiple choice questions are based on that very lecture. So let's move to the first question. Now, the first question is in a three sector model, the total expenditure in an economy includes the following components. You have to identify which of the combination of components is right regarding total expenditure in a three sector model economy. So our first option is consumption and investment. Our second option is consumption, investment, and government expenditure. Third is consumption, investment, government expenditure, and factor payments. And the fourth one is factor payments, taxes, and transfer payments. So you have to identify which of the combination of these components presents the right picture with regard to the total expenditure in a three sector model. Now, what we need to focus upon in this case is the product market, or the demand for the business sector. What are its sources? Now, one source is the household sector, which goes for which does consumption expenditure to purchase goods and services. The second source of demand is the business sector itself when it makes investment, and the third source of demand is the government sector when it purchases goods and services from the business sector or the product market. So these are the three components of total expenditure in an economy with three sectors. So the first option has only two. The second option has all the three. The third option has got one additional, that is factor payments, which is not a component of total expenditure. And the fourth one, again, it has got this factor payments, then taxes and transfer payments, none of which is a component of consumption expenditure. So the right answer in this case is the B option combination, that is consumption plus investment plus government expenditure, which presents the picture of total expenditure in an economy. Our second question is, which of the following is included in the income of the household sector in a three sector model? So you have to find different sources of income for the household sector or economy as such in a three sector model. So your options include factor payment, then salaries and wages, then transfer payment, then the fourth option is all of the above. Now, if you focus on the household sector, the sources of income for it include, one is the factor payment that comes from the factor market. Okay, another is the salaries and wages that come from the government, and then there is one more component that comes from the government sector, which is the transfer payments. So we are having three main sources of income for household sector. One is factor payments, second is salaries and wages, and the third is transfer payments. So this is our factor payment, this is our salaries and wages, this is our transfer payment. These two come from the government, this comes from the business sector or factor market. Okay, and therefore our answer in this case is all of the above, that is D option is the right option. Our third question is, in a three sector model, household sector spends its total income on. Now, household sector receives its income, that we have a little while ago that we discussed. And what are the outlays for this household sector income? Where the income goes that the household sector receives, that is the question. So our first option is consumption, second option is saving, and the third option is taxes, and the fourth option is all of the above. Now, when the household sector receives its income, a part of it goes into consumption for purchase of goods and services from the product market. A part of it goes into savings, which are deposited with the capital market or banking sector, who in turn give that saving to the business sector where it is translated into investment. And finally, one part of the income goes into taxes. So we have three outlays for the household sector income. And over here we have, this is our consumption, okay, this is our saving, and then this is our taxes. So all the three are actually outlays for household sector no income, where they spend this income. So our most appropriate answer in this case is all of the above, that is the D option. Our fourth question is, which sector pays indirect taxes to the government? So you had to focus on what? Indirect taxes, where indirect taxes come from for the government. So our options include business sector, household sector, both, and none. Now, if you focus on the revenue of the government, it comes from both the household sector and it comes from the business sector, and both the sectors pay taxes, but the household sector pays direct taxes mainly, and the business sector, the indirect taxes come from the business sector. So it is the farmers or business sector which pays the indirect taxes to the government. So our right option in this case is the first one, business sector. Our last question for the session is, which of the following is not part of the overall government spending? So you have to see where the government spending goes, okay, and you have to find which of the following is not part of the government spending, which component is not part of the government spending. So the first one is transfer payments, second option is subsidies, third is purchase of goods and services, and fourth is consumption expenditure. Now if you focus on the expenditure of the government, part of the government expenditure, it goes to the household sector as salaries and wages. Now part of it goes again to the household sector as part of the transfer payments. Part of it goes to the business sector because it has to purchase goods and services, and part of it goes again to the business sector because it provides subsidies to the business sector. Now let's see if these are present in the options that are given for us. Now transfer payment, yes, it is there, transfer payment. Subsidies, yes, again it is there, subsidies. And purchase of goods and services, again it is there, purchase of goods and services. And then we are left with the consumption expenditure. Now the household sector buys goods and services from the business sector, and it does consumption, its spending is called as consumption expenditure. Now consumption expenditure is not related therefore with the government sector, it is related with the household sector. So this is not part of the government spendings, and therefore our right answer is the D option among the options given for us. I hope that you have enjoyed this session of MCQs. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Earnest Economics. Thank you very much.